Okay. Hello, everyone. This is the first month of our spooky collage Zooms. So here's the spooky collage. So month one, we are talking about it's hard. Um, we're talking about the pumpkin, the potion bottle, the sorry, the skeleton face and the witch's hat. So these are the four that we are covering this month. Nothing super crazy. So first square will be the pumpkin square, just a little bit closer so that you can see it. Might be a little easier to see than the photos. So for the pumpkin, I started with the neon rays in 147, which is the persimmon color. So neon rays, you do a vertical brick over two, and you want to lay this to make sure you get that full coverage for the 13 mesh. Um, I did go back in. I never know with the brick if I should go back into those little areas or not, but I did just to get better coverage. And then the Planet Earth Silk Ply, Majestic 1091. I did 8 ply of that. Yes, I used 8 ply. I like a lot of coverage. In my little areas. So I did 8 ply. I did just talk to a customer who usually does 6 ply with the Planet Earth, but it's your call. So just a little bit of basket weave tint, whatever, in those little corners. And then the next thing I did was I did the frosty rays for the eyes, nose, and mouth, and you just basket weave tint that again. The one note I did put in your stitch guide is to use a shorter length. So it's a tube with a little metallic in the middle. So I like to use the shorter length because that tube inevitably starts to kind of come apart as you're stitching with it. So the longer the length, the more the tube kind of you lose. But I also suggest like pray check or something on the end so that way that little end's not getting, when it starts to unravel, it's not getting messed and caught up into everything. Sorry. And then the fireworks for the mouth and eyes. Mm, sorry, y'all. FT84. And you want to lay this so that you get that nice, super shiny look to it. And then with the stem, I use the reflections, the malachite color, which is R921. And so I just did simple little stitches for the stem. And then if you can see, long and short stitches is not my specialty. So I just tried to do them coming out from one leaf to give you that realistic veiny look. The second square, the potion bottle, again, nothing super crazy. So basket weave, tint, whatever's easiest for you. The background with the Planet Earth Silk Zest 225. Um, and then I did a skip tint with the water and ice for the bottle. Easy stitch, love that stitch. I will say again with the water and ice, you want to do probably a smaller length, but I also fray checked the end of that because it did kind of come unbraided or unraveled while I was stitching with it. But really fun thread to stitch with. I don't know if you've ever used water and ice before, but it was a fun thread to play with that I had never used. Um, then I did the road circles for the dots. The two itsy bitsy little ones, those are just cross stitches. But the rest of them I did road circles. And I said in the stitch guide to make sure that you start and stop your rows at the same spot. So if you want that more uniform look, I understand they're random bubbles in a bottle, so you trying to get a uniform look is kind of crazy, but I am a little OCD, so I always start mine straight up and down so that way my final stitch is kind of at an angle. And then in that package, there were little cuts of seagrass in a light, a medium, and a dark. I just did satin stitches where I could, and then just filled in with a little bit of tint stitch in the areas where I couldn't satin stitch. So you've got kind of that medium-ish yellow at the top. You've got the darker as the accents, and then that medium brown for the cork. So just giving a corky look. See, and I would two ply the seagrass to get better coverage. You might also want to pay a little bit more attention when stitching with that to lay it, so you get that, you know, thicker coverage for the cord. The skeleton face. So skeleton face, I started with the mandarin. And so I don't know, it's I tried to explain it the best I could. I stitched this kind of half and half. So I made my center point in the face. And so I stitched everything going towards the center, to kind of give you more of that 3D look. And then where my threads meet in the middle, I don't know how well you can tell with the white, but I just kind of layered them. So left on the top one, like, and then right, and then left, and then right, alternating them. And I did that with all three of the threads. And then the mandarin floss for the purple. So you have the white mandarin floss, the cool white, one of my favorite threads, if you care. Uh, really good, crisp, clean white. So mandarin floss white, and then you had that light violet for the mandarin floss, in that lighter purple. And then there was the Petite Very Velvet Dark Chocolate, which is kind of a purpley brown color, but just did that with my basket weave angled towards the middle, on either side. Again, with your Petite Very Velvet, I suggest that you, when you cut your little piece of velvet, you run it through a rag, a paper towel, anything like that. It just helps get some of that extra fuzz off. And so I know you're stitching right next to a white, so you don't want that white to get kind of dingy looking. So just running your Very Velvet through a rag a few times, like I just hold on to it, and you will see when you finally got all that buzz off, you will know. And with the Very Velvet, when you do thread your needle, another fun tip, leave a shorter tail than you normally would, because sometimes it will, not sometimes, it does, it creases it. So if you leave a smaller tail, you don't have to worry about a crease showing up in your stitching. And finally, the fourth square for this month was the witch's hat. So, do the Nabucco in the background, and the Milan thread, the whipped butter 1761. So I love the Nabucco stitch. I know some people have a love-hate relationship with it. If you have a different stitch you like, go for it. This is just, stitches I did, suggestions. It is just the suggestions. It is not the Bible. So, and then you have your neon rays, your purple amethyst. Again, you want to make sure I did not iron these threads, but I did actually like lay them. So just that note, I did not iron them, but I did lay. So I did pay a little bit more attention and laid them. Again, you're going to go back in with your Milan and the lighter areas, and the witch's hat is all tint basket weave. And then I went in with the Petite Very Velvet in the dark chocolate color from your skeleton face to just do some of those accents in the hat. And then you can see, if you look very closely, you might be able to see a little bit in person, if you look really close, you can see where I stitched over that painted buckle. So I put all the beads in one bag together. So the beads will be coming at a later date and we'll go back and add those beads. But you just want to stitch over the painted buckle. So as you can see, I just followed that orange line with my stitching, and I stitched over the yellow part of the buckle in the purple. And then just do long or satin stitches for the hat band in the orange, the persimmon neon rays. Again, making sure you lay it um, and stitch over all kind of the motifs, everything that was painted, like these two little dots, stitch over all that, because we will be adding the beads. And to be truthful, yeah, you'll be adding the beads. So you can just stitch over all of that. So, the beads will be coming, in a later packet. If anybody has any questions, this month was pretty straightforward. I think the craziest stitch we had was Nabucco. Um, but if you have any questions, you can feel free to call the shop or you can reach out to me. You can respond to the email that had the Zoom link. That's my personal email, so I will answer you there. But you can give us a call at the shop. I can FaceTime with you if I need to. But yeah, so that's it for month one. Nothing super crazy. I am gathering the threads for month two, so I don't, as of this moment, I have not narrowed down which squares we're doing next month. I've got a few that I want us to tackle next, just because I really like them. But yeah, so in the coming weeks, we'll be getting the stitch guide and the threads ready for month two, and that will be coming to you. We'll probably mail that out at the beginning of October. So really just a few weeks out. But yeah, and if for any reason, I missed a thread in your package or anything like that, just give us a call and I will get that popped in the mail to you. No problem. So I hope y'all are all enjoying the spooky collage so far. I am really excited for this. My first week working here at the shop, Michelle was working on her Christmas songs one, the 12 Christmas songs that she did last year at the beginning of the year. And so I helped Michelle get some of the threads and everything. The package is ready to go. And I thought it was the coolest club. The 4 squares for 4 months. I thought that was a really cool concept. And so when Susan kind of introduced the Halloween one, I loved it. I don't tend to be a Halloween person. I enjoy putting my fake spider webs up and I enjoy handing out candy, which I never really got to because we lived so far out in the country. I had to beg my neighbors and coworkers to bring their kids to our house. I think our record was 5 one year. It's a great year. Um, but when I saw this one, I knew that we needed to do this at the shop. And so it landed in my lap, which I was very happy with. So I hope that, you know, all of y'all are going to have as much fun stitching this as I did. And I'll tell you, this thing is hefty. Now that it's finished, there's some weight to it. It is a weighty canvas. I was not prepared for how much it weighed, but I'm very excited. And I'm excited for y'all to use, maybe threads that you've never used before and maybe some techniques you've never done before. Like I had not really couched before this one. So, not really padded too much either. So, or done ribbons. So a lot of fun things for us to learn and conquer. So really excited that y'all signed up to do this with me. And so yeah, we'll get you the Zoom link for next month's class. I will send out this recorded Zoom link. If you have any questions, you can always call the shop at 843-842-8488. If you do need a tutorial on any of the stitches that I've done, like a road circle, we can film a tutorial for that, no problem. I can FaceTime with you. So yeah, just reach out, and like I said, we'll get all the stuff ready for next month, and I will see y'all next month. Thank you.